An optimist is a fellow who believes a housefly is looking for a way to get out. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Uncle Marv podcast. I am your host, Uncle Marv. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for spending your time either listening or watching the show this evening. I have a fantastic guest with me tonight. Deborah Bowmar Jaffe is in it.
Hi.
How are you, Bowmar?
Good.
All right. So we are here every Monday night, and it is time basically for me to reach out to friends, new and old, reminisce, share stories and life lessons. And it'll be interesting to see what we have to share tonight. So, Bowmar, thank you for hopping on the show.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I was so honored when you asked.
Yeah, well, I asked until somebody says yes, and you said yes. So
Great.
So let's do this. Let me, since I did a solo show last week, I don't have to say thank you to any guests. And we have a couple of things. I do want to acknowledge that I haven't been doing this on a regular basis, but I just remembered that I had to say happy birthday to some people. And I'm not going to say last names, but Gina and Amber, their birthdays were today. Happy birthday. And then some past birthdays, Katie, Mitchell, Chris, and Tara, sister of Happy. So I'll always try to do that and reach out and say happy birthday to people, give people some shout outs. And I want to give another special shout out to Todd, the Overcomer Shoemaker. Those of you that are privy to some of his personal stuff, he had a little bit of a rough bout, but he, as always, as per usual, has pulled through. And I am expecting great things out of Todd. Actually, he's in the chat saying good evening. Good evening, Mr. Shoemaker. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. Normally I do a thing about Florida Man, but because Bowmar is in the state of Florida with me, we don't actually have to share and compare stories. We are living life warm down here in South Florida because Bowmar, you're less than an hour from me.
I know, and I love it. It's a whopping 82 degrees, and I definitely feel for our friends that are in every other state except for maybe Hawaii.
Yeah, it has been rough. I've got some people over in Dallas or outside of Houston, and so they're struggling. Have a couple of them without power for going on 4 days. So
yeah,
shout outs and prayers and wishes to them to get better. So Bowmar, we haven't physically seen each other for 6-7 years.
Has it been that long?
Was it the last 2014 or somewhere around there?
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah.
We've stayed in
You
touch.
haven't changed. Hopefully I haven't changed. So
I've changed.
Okay.
But yeah, the last time. So back then you were still the alumni director over at our stomping grounds, PBA.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, I love those days.
Wait a minute. The days that we had the reunion or the days when we were actually there in school?
All of the above.
Okay.
All of the above. I look at my days at PBA, and it's kind of funny because I'm going through the whole process. I have a daughter that's a junior in high school now, and we're looking at colleges, and I'm kind of reminiscing in my own mind, saying, okay, this is going to be the best time of your life, and you're going to meet the most incredible friends that, you can look back on for 30 years. And at some point, and then being able to work at the university was just really for me an honor, because I feel like the school gave me so much. So it was my opportunity to share that experience with students and be a mentor to students while I was there.
Mm. So let me ask this question first, and then we'll come back to your experience.
Okay.
So she's a junior. Is she already looking at colleges, and does she have a list narrowed down, or how's that going?
Yeah, so she does. For a long time, she said she wanted to go to Palm Beach Atlantic, but since we live about 10 miles from the school, I think that has kind of changed a little bit.
Is it too
And
close to home?
yeah, so her number one choice is FSU. So,
Oh, okay.
so we'll see.
That was actually my first choice, and something happened my senior year where I decided to change my mind and ended up at PBA as my second choice.
It's kind of funny because University of Florida was my first choice, and my father said, "No, your first choice will be Palm Beach Atlantic." And I'm like, "Palm Beach what?" So I really wasn't given a choice,
Wow,
and it was the best decision I had nothing to do with.
interesting. Now, I know that you're not from Florida, so were you in Florida when that decision was made, or were you still out of state?
Yeah, no, I grew up, I was born and grew up partially in Richmond, Virginia, but from middle school on, I lived in Orlando.
Okay.
So it was at that point that we used to come down to West Palm Beach to visit family, friends, and things like that. So I was a little bit familiar, but yeah, so it wasn't bad. It was a 3-hour drive.
Yeah. So that was back when you could drive through the middle of downtown West Palm Beach and not realize that there was a college there.
Yeah, or a lot of other things going on.
That is true. Now, so we graduated together. Did we start at the same time and do all 4 years? What was
I
it,
think
85,
so.
89?
I went from 85 to 89,
Okay.
and then after I graduated in 89, they had just opened up the or were opening up the MBA program.
Mm.
And I had gotten a degree in marketing and management, and it was really too generic. I didn't really have a direction to turn in. So I actually applied for the MBA program, and I was the first female to graduate with my undergraduate and my master's degree from Palm Beach Atlantic.
Oh
I
my.
don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah,
No, when I graduated, well, I went and spent 3 years of darkness in Carolina, and then I came back to Florida. So I kind of lost touch there for a little bit. But no, I did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah.
Interesting. So
So
did you have to carry some sort of distinction with that? Do other females now look up to you and say that you paved
no,
the way?
no, no. But for me, it's something I'm very proud of. I don't know. I mean, I will tell you. I mean, I had Dr. Isa all over again, and
I
some
do.
of our ever beloved professors, and but they weren't going to let you slide in the MBA program. It was tough.
Yeah. What's going on behind you there? What are they doing?
Oh, I think my son was walking by. Sorry.
Okay. As long as he's not doing bunny rabbit ears behind you there.
Oh, no, no.
So let's do this. Let's talk about, instead of going back down memory lane, let's go ahead and talk about what you're doing now. You are the executive director at Bella's Angels,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize that you've been with them for a while.
Yeah, I have. I have. I I will back up a little bit. When I graduated with my master's degree, I went to work in the investment banking industry and was in that industry for a number of years. I actually was flew up to New York for 9/11. I flew in the day before and I got stuck in New York City during 9/11.
Oh,
So that was pretty interesting. But it was through those days that, as part of your networking and really being a part of the community to meet some of these high net worth people, that I really did a lot of volunteer work, and it was part of my job. And I really found out that I had a desire to give back to the community. And so that led me back into the nonprofit world. I come from a line of people that were really, really great salesmen, and I never saw myself as that way, but I feel like uh, the nonprofit industry is a way of being a salesperson, but in a more casual way, I guess, a more of a softer touch than, having to sell a car or whatever it is. So I went to work for PBA, and then I worked for a company or a nonprofit called Loggerhead Marine Life Center, and we rescued sea turtles, and that was super, super cool. And I loved that job, but it was a lot of hours. I had 3 young kids, and then it led me to Bella's Angels, which I've been there 7.5 years. It started out as a part-time position, and really just an incredible, incredible organization. When I came on board, it was a $35,000 organization, and this past year was about 385,000.
mm.
So it was pretty much our strongest year. And just 2 weeks ago, the board voted to make me full time. So that's really cool.
All right. Congratulations. Now,
Yeah, thanks.
for those who don't know what it is, so I know that it's got a couple of different, subtitles where it's empowering families with providing resources to children with lifelong disabilities.
Yeah.
Is that one of several um,
That is
emphasis?
basically our main mission. Our mission is to provide financial assistance to local children who have lifelong physical disabilities beyond what their insurance covers. So we're really a cool organization in the respect that it's really grassroots. It was started by a family to help Bella with a specific need, and that was to provide financial resources. They fell in that middle class sector, so they made too much money to qualify for government assistance, yet they didn't have all the means to take care of diagnosing Bella and then ultimately treating her. And so what we do is we look for families that have children with lifelong physical disabilities. So it's not like we just serve cerebral palsy or charge syndrome or whatever it is. The beauty about Bella's Angels is almost every single one of these children have something different. And in a lot of aspects, they're 1 in 400 in the world that have what they have, or the only person that has what they have. A lot of it has to do with genetics, and either too many chromosomes or not enough, or missing chromosomes. So we really give them a certain amount of money every year, and we cover anything from therapy to equipment to supplies. I mean, some of these kids are 12 and 13 years old. They're in diapers. They'll be in diapers all their life. And it's that sort of expense that is really outrageous that their insurance company wouldn't pay for. A lot of times, too, we're located out of Palm Beach County. Their medical team may be in Miami or Chicago or Boston, Orlando, Tampa, and the insurance company may pay for the procedures or whatever, but when they go to Boston, they're in Boston for a week or two. So who's going to pay for the hotel stays? Who's going to pay for the airline tickets? Who's going to pay for food help them with food cost and things like that, car rental. So we try to cover all of those different expenses that their insurance company doesn't cover. We also help with things like intensive therapy. So we have one family, the child has cerebral palsy, and once a month, for an entire month in the summertime when he's not in school, he goes to this intensive therapy camp in Orlando, and we pay for that expense. They would have never been able to do this. And they really say this is why their son is just so successful in doing what he's doing, being able to sit up, being able to walk or pull himself up or things like that. And so we're really able to help with these things. Even like therapy appointments, think about it. I mean, insurance may cover 20 therapy appointments. Well, they'll go to 20 therapy appointments in 1 month. And so, it's really looking at these children and helping them become the best version of themselves, whatever that looks like.
Right. So a lot of times it sounds like if they can't get the diagnosis in the beginning or, something covered to even find out what the issue is, then they're going to be struggling the rest of their
Yeah.
life to get that taken care of. But then you're saying that insurance may cover some stuff, but they're limited.
Yeah.
So do you have a situation set up where people will, dedicate an annual gift to a specific child, to a specific cause, or is this something you've just got to go out and keep finding money for all the time?
So it really is a mixture of the way that we do this. Like for example, I have a specific donor who doesn't have kids. She loves supporting animal type organizations. And so I got creative. We had two families that needed therapy dogs. One of the little boys he already had all kinds of physical disabilities, and then he was diagnosed with diabetes. And so what they did is the parents found this trainer, that would train them to be able to have the dog come to the parent and tell them when the child's blood sugar was either too high or too low. And just to actually even be able to fathom that a dog is trained to be able to sniff that out. So like that particular donor, I went to her and I said, look, we need a dog and this is what it's for. And she helped us with it. We do 4 key fundraising events a year. We do a lot of small ancillary shop and shares, and people do fundraisers for us. There are times when we give a certain amount of money, and if people need money above and beyond that, we'll help them with fundraisers, but they also can go to people and people will donate specifically to their child. And I'll give you the prime example for that. A lot of times our families, the kids are in wheelchairs and they need a vehicle that's wheelchair accessible. Well, the vehicle itself is $30,000 or $40,000, and that's being conservative. Well, then the wheelchair lift can be anywhere from $20,000 to $40,000. So people will do fundraising that restricts it so that they're able to get what they need. And I do a lot of grant writing as well, and it's just It's a whole gamut of just different things that we do in order to raise the money. We don't qualify for any kind of a government grants, so it's going to a lot of family foundations or other organizations that give to nonprofits locally. And I think, as you know, and I know, a lot of that's changed in the last year, almost to the date, because of COVID. And so we've had to readjust how we're raising money. The cool thing is that 2 years ago, the board of directors said they wanted to set aside $250,000 so that we would always be raising money a year in advance. So God forbid if there is a COVID or something like that, we're raising not for this year, but for next year to a certain extent. And we knew that it would take us a number of years to get to that 250,000. And because we've had success from donors and they're invested in what we're doing and invested in these families, we're about $10,000 shy and about a year and a half ahead of what we were targeting to have as a reserve specifically for the families.
Okay. So I've put up on the screen, and of course, I will have this in the show notes for those of you that go there afterwards. Uh, bellasangels.org is the main website. And I will also have a link to the Facebook group. Both are pages where you can go to. And it's very easy. There's a nice little donate now button at the top there that you can do. And you can see all of the information there. Now, what is the things that you have up here? Amazon Smile, 100-hole hike.
Yeah, so being a grassroots organization, one of the things I love about our organization, a lot of the events that we do are totally out of the box. If we do a golf tournament, it's just not your normal golf tournament. Like, for example, in September, and unfortunately we did have to cancel. That was the one event we had to cancel last year, but we are moving forward with it this year. And that is a nine and dine. So you play 9 holes of golf, you have dinner. It's something really great to do. It's more of a social type of event. We had a live auction with it. We had a silent auction with it. We also do something called the 100-hole marathon. It was called at one point the 100-hole hike, and it was where a very few golfers would literally walk 100 holes of golf in one day. They'd have a partner, they'd hit alternate shots, and it was equivalent to walking 30 miles in one day. I mean, these guys raised a lot of money and for Bella's Angels, but it came also with a pain. They would lose toenails. I mean,
Yeah,
we have masseuses out on the course massaging them and loosening them up during the day. I mean, it is brutal.
yeah,
So what we've done is given them the ability to ride in a golf cart.
most of us weekend golfers are,
Yeah.
we got to have
So,
the car.
so it was at the time our board chairman Ed Tanser had really started that fundraiser for us, and he was absolutely incredible man, and would raise $100,000 for us. And what we found is that a lot of these golfers did it once to say that they did it, and sadly, Ed, who was just such a great advocate for Bella's Angels and the families we serve, passed away very unexpectedly of COVID in November. And so we are planning in May 10th, to host our 100-hole marathon in his honor. So we're just finalizing the venue. Again, with COVID, we've had some struggles with that because not, at least in Palm Beach County, golf courses really aren't opening up to the public, but So we're just trying to finalize that information, and probably I would say in another week or two at the most, it should be up on our website and on our Facebook page.
All right. So
Um,
May 10th.
Amazon Smile is really super cool, because we all shop on Amazon, right?
We
So all
try.
you have to do is put in smile.amazon, and then you can click the charity of your choice, and we would hope that you would choose Bella's Angels. And every time you buy something on the Amazon Smile site, um, it will donate a certain percentage back to Bella's Angels. And so, for being a small organization, we actually receive a pretty good stream of income from that. And you know what? You don't have to go and make a donation to do that. You're buying stuff that you already need or whatever. So that's something that I really enjoy sharing with people, because you just do what you keep doing. You just go to Amazon Smile instead of the regular Amazon. Everything looks the same. And as you make your purchases, Bella's Angels benefits.
Yep, I will have a link to that. It's basically, if you do regular shopping on Amazon, just save this link as your starter page, and no fees, no extra cost. Amazon is doing the donation
Yeah,
for you. So
right.
you're going about your regular day and shopping and ordering. You don't have to order anything special. Looks like a percentage of all eligible purchases are
Right.
donated on your behalf.
Yeah. So,
All right.
and it's really cool because, in addition to like the therapy, and some of the things I've already talked about, we even provide a respite care program for these families. So it's not a lot of money, but it's about $500 a year where they can go and hire their own respite care worker. And we say to these families, we say, you can use this money to hire your own worker, and you can go to sleep, you can go on a date night, you can attend to your own medical needs, you can spend time with your other children, but it gives them the ability to wind down and really focus on themselves, even if it's for a short period of time. And that's so critical, because we know that caretakers are stressed to their limit. And so this gives them the ability to be able to focus on themselves even for such a short period of time.
All right. Very nice. So I will, like I said, folks, have the link to Bella's Angels website, Facebook page, and Amazon Smile. So we'll do that. You can contact Deborah and be involved. So listen, you're going to need to put me on that list for May 10th.
Yeah.
Um, I got a plan now because it's a Monday, so I don't know if I can take off. But
Okay.
we'll try.
Absolutely.
Is it in the morning and go all day?
Yeah, it does. We usually start about 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and we have found with the golf carts, we're done by 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can explain that with the boss. Do that. All right. So, Bowmar, what else has been going on in life? Let me ask this. So, you've stayed close to college, pretty much
Yeah.
Palm Beach. Now, I know you're out west, and I probably drive by you a couple of times because I've got a couple of clients all the way out there in Royal Palm.
Okay.
So, what else has been going on? Have you stayed in touch with anybody from PBA?
Yeah, I stay in touch with a lot of people. I really, really do. You were talking about having a friend in the Houston area. Actually, my roommate from college, Stephanie, lives out in Dallas with her family, and she was posting that they felt so lucky because they were able to get a hotel room, and so they had electricity, and they were offering their shower to people that needed to come and take a shower and things like that. So they're not used to that. I mean, you and I have experienced hurricanes, and we're prepared for things like that and know what to do. So it's a different world. But I really stay in touch with a lot of people. Kathy Charlton's another one that I see or try to see pretty so often. And, Janie Fode is another one that, we've had the great opportunity for the last 7.5, actually even longer than that, years of working together through professions. And, I just, and it's kind of funny because I was just having this conversation with somebody. A lot of my babysitters came from PBA,
Really?
and that's how I recruited them. And so I have a daughter, 17. She's a junior in high school. And then I have twins that are 15 and a half, almost 16, and they're in ninth grade. So every single one of my babysitters, except for one, came from PBA, and they're all married and they're all starting to have their own children.
Now, let me ask this, because you were an RA, is that correct?
I was.
Is that how you recruited them? You kind of put the fear into them that you're going to help me out at some point in the future?
No, um, because I didn't have children until I was later in life. A lot of our friends are already having grandchildren. Um,
Tell people how old we are.
I know. Well, they just had babies when they were really young.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
kind of what I think of it. But so I would just meet them through when I worked at PBA or just through different people. But I always had such success hiring specifically girls from Palm Beach Atlantic because I knew the quality of the person that I was getting. And so I really did that. So it's kind of fun now to see them, um, all getting married and having their own little ones. And yeah, it's been really a fun journey, you know. And I also think too, I do a lot of volunteer work, a lot, besides working for Bella's Angels, and I do a lot with my children. Here locally, I do a lot of volunteer work with the Honda Classic, and that's a PGA golf tournament that's taking place mid-March. And another organization that gives back to children's charities. And I really believe that I have that ability or desire to give back because of my experience at PBA. Um, People say I just can't say no, but I just feel so lucky to have been brought up in this community from my college days, and I've seen the community grow. I mean, you and I remember when I-95 stopped at PJ Boulevard. um,
And guess how I so I found out that 95 stopped on my trip down for orientation. My mom was driving me.
uh-huh.
We got to Fort Pierce and had to get
Yeah.
off. And she was like, "What do we do now?" And I'm like, "I don't know." We went over to US 1
Yeah.
and drove US 1 the rest of the way.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was only 2 lanes in some places and 3 once you got into the heart of Palm Beach, and that
Yeah.
that was huge. You know,
I know. I know.
so
Um,
it was.
you know,
Growing up in West Palm, which I mean, I didn't grow up in West Palm, but
but
the
you
4
kind of
years.
did.
I mean, it really, if you look at it now,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a drastic change from when we were there. I mean, Twin
Oh,
Lakes
it
High
is.
School is gone, and the place where I lived outside when I left the dorms is gone. It's like 100 square blocks just disappeared.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just really is incredible. And, I'll tell you, I mean, and this is where I really do feel blessed. My first job out of college, when I was working on my master's degree. I went to work for a bank, and I remember going into this private bank in Palm Beach. And the guy said, the person that was interviewing me said, "You graduated from Palm Beach Atlantic?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, you're hired." I was like, "What?" I mean, and that's just the reputation that yeah, even it had back in the old days. But it has even more of that reputation now, and the caliber of people that are going to school there, that are graduating there from there, is just absolutely incredible. I haven't met the new president, but I'm just absolutely thrilled that they hired a woman. And I'm not saying that to be egotistical or anything like that, but I feel like it was time. And she seems to be doing a fantastic job.
Well, I can tell you this, that is something that is going to be fantastic. I mean, Palm Beach Atlantic was great when we were there,
Yeah,
but they have literally gone leaps and bounds above what the original vision was.
yeah,
Our good friend Claude Ray,
yeah.
um, was one of the reasons I stayed there because I almost left.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I almost left.
Because of the dorm situation?
Well, it was, yeah, that and the several things there, but that was a big part of it because at the time I'm thinking, okay, this isn't a school. I mean, how in the world can you live, a mile from the school and have to go through a war zone every day to get to class?
Yeah,
That sort of thing. But the community at PBA was just, there was something about it that once you got there,
yeah,
it didn't, I mean, there were the little cliques and stuff, but if you were involved in any part of campus life, in any part of the sports programs, the theater
mhm.
programs, the fake talent shows that we used to put on,
I still have a bunch of pictures from that.
you should burn those.
No, I
But what you said about the reputation of the school, I mean, the ambassador program opened a lot of doors for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
and got me a job, on the weekends with somebody from Palm Beach, the town of Palm Beach, who specifically came to the school to look for somebody to help him do his books.
yeah.
And, I wasn't a math, well, maybe rephrase that. I took a lot of math courses for no good reason. And calculus 3, there was no reason for me to be in that class, but I took it. But, just the fact that somebody, just on reputation alone of the school, not me, not anything that
Yeah,
I did, but, well, if the school recommends you, you must be good. Come on over.
yeah.
That was it.
It's true. It's true. And that is the way it is today. I will tell you the difference is one of my best friends, her son is a sophomore at PBA now. And there definitely is a lot of things that have changed where when we went to school there were maybe 500 students, period. And everybody knew everybody, whether you're a ministry major or a business major or music major, whatever it was, everybody, sports, everybody knew each other. Um, I was actually a little bit taken back because now they say everybody stays like you only know the business majors if that's what your major is, or education, or, if you're in sports. So it definitely has grown enough where I would say it's probably a lot more cliquish than it was when we were there. In addition to that, and you'll laugh about this, her son just moved into the brand new dorms, and they have their own kitchen with like a full size refrigerator, stove. um, I mean, it's just really unbelievable what they do have now,
So
and
just to give
I
people,
would say we paid the price for that.
oh, we did. Oh, we did. So for people who don't know anything about Palm Beach Atlantic back then, so first of all, our dorm was actually full of residents before we got there that did not want to leave. That's the size of people. But so our kitchen was a hot pot and a small micro fridge, if you were lucky. Um, and we what 2 to 4 to a room,
Yeah.
and uh, and we lived off campus. I think there was only 2 buildings that were actually on campus until they got what was it, the Gardens
Hmm.
dorms that were a couple of blocks down,
Yeah.
and Hogue Hall.
Or Vogue, depending
Road,
upon who
well,
lived there.
Rogue, I can tell you this. Yeah, the fact that I got in trouble for hosting a little block party there was rogue enough.
I don't remember that.
You were too good. You probably didn't want to hang with us hellions.
No, no. I wasn't an RA at that point.
Yep. Old Paul. We were we were blasting music.
Oh,
And
okay. Well, I did hear, and this is what my girlfriend told me that I was surprised about, is you absolutely have to live on campus until you're 21 years old, or you live with your parents.
what?
So if you're 20 or 19, you can't just go and get an off-campus apartment.
Okay, so we wouldn't have had half our students if that were the case. So when
I
you said
know.
500, so 500 students are what was on campus. We actually had about 1,200 when
Oh,
we,
yeah, that's right.
but a lot of them were locals. They either lived off campus or lived in their own housing, rented apartments and stuff. And trust me, if you wanted to survive, you rented your own place because
Yeah,
Kathy Dorm,
yeah.
Kathy Dorm was like camping in the Sahara Desert. It was,
It's like a high-end retirement community now.
yeah, it looks, and I think they have central air.
They do. And I don't think they hear gunshots at night.
Not anymore. Not since. Oh, that place. What was the place that they built? Shoot. So they got the Kravitz Center,
Oh, City
City
Place.
City Place, but it's not City Place anymore, right?
No, it is still City Place.
Okay, it's still City Place, but didn't they like rebuild it or something? And now it's half townhomes and houses and
Well, that's what they did when they built City Place. A lot of the top apartments or like working lofts, and then below are restaurants and stores and things like that. It
okay.
really has struggled. They've got a movie theater there. Remember the old Methodist church that has been there like beyond?
Hmm.
They opened that up and host. I think some proms have been held there, other event fundraisers for nonprofits or whatever. I think a church actually has a service there on Sunday because a lot of the PBA students go there.
Okay.
So,
Uh,
but it looks really nice. And Clematis Street is really been rebuilt and downtown. I mean, it's just completely different.
yeah. Clematis,
Um,
Clematis by night, they used to call it.
yeah, it's still there, believe it or not.
All right.
Every Thursday night.
Okay. And looky here, Chris Gustafson put in the chat a little bit ago. Once a sailfish, always a sailfish.
That's right.
Chris, if that was in reference to me almost leaving, chat about that at some point. All right. Well,
Yeah,
Bowmar, anything else you want to chat about? Any questions you have? Any memories you want to talk about?
no, I just I don't know. I'm so as you can see, I lay it up when I talk about my days at PBA, and it's just I encourage any students that are looking for colleges now just to really make sure it's the right fit for you. It can be the best days of your life, and but also set you up for the rest of your life and help define you. And I feel like that's what my experience at PBA was.
Yeah, certainly was a eye opener for me, and the reason that I went to PBA over Florida State, outside of the fact that I didn't qualify for the sports scholarship that I was hoping for, was that PBA was a place where I could feel like a person and
And,
not a number.
yeah,
And it was a very good experience. And I would tell anybody, if you get the chance to go, go.
yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely. And it defines you. I mean, if you think about it being such a small organization, a small college compared to so many others, and the fact that they required to have students do workshop hours before it was cool to have, now all of these colleges, I think, require it, or a lot of them do. And, we were doing that even before. And I remember my workshop that I did, and I believe that that really contributed to who I am.
for some reason, I doing a lot of workshops. So either I worked or I was too busy, or I forget what it was. I mean, I did
Yeah,
some, but I
yeah.
so many things
I've
I
worked. I did some individual projects, but I remember the first one is I volunteered at Good Samaritan Hospital. So
mm,
yeah, which was pretty cool.
I should say nice.
Yeah.
I think I taught Sunday school and did a youth choir thing,
Okay. Yeah.
youth director without any pay,
That's
which was fun.
what it was like back then.
Yep, it was. All right. So I know that you mentioned Kathy and Janie. So I've seen them on the Facebook lately. Janie, I want to get in touch with because I'm trying to
Yeah.
get in touch with some student government people.
Oh, yeah, she'd be the perfect one.
And I want to do a thing with SGA presidents. So we'll see
Okay.
if Janie
Yeah,
pays attention. Janie, let me know how to reach out to you. Actually, can you hook me up with Janie?
I can.
All
I
right.
got that contact.
You got that contact.
I got that
Help
contact.
me out. But Rick Lassiter is somebody I was looking for.
Yeah, I might have his contact. I can look. I know at one point I did. Um, so yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been hearing the lovely stories of Deborah Bowmar Jaffe,
Ooh.
Executive Director of Bella's Angels and previous alumni director at the aforementioned Palm Beach Atlantic. Now, was it college or university when you started as the alumni director?
It was university.
Okay.
Yeah, it
University.
had already changed.
Yeah. It got all Hollywood on us back then.
I know it did. Now they have billboards and all kinds of stuff.
Joy, joy, joy. All right. So you're going to stay with us after the show, right? We'll
Yep,
chat with anybody
absolutely.
that stays afterwards. But folks, thank you very much for listening. Again, we do this every Monday night. I find somebody to chat with and reminisce and share stories. And hopefully we'll get a lot of other people out there, Palm Beach Atlantic College, Satellite High School, Junior Achievement, NAJAC, anywhere that I ran across people who are interesting and I like.
Thanks, Marvin.
All right, folks, join us again next week, unclemarv.com/live. And we'll sit and we'll chat and reminisce and share stories. That's going to do it. Until next time, holla. And we're done. That was your show.
Awesome. Thank you. It was great. It was really good.
All right. It was, see, we did have stuff to talk about.
We did. We always do.
Yes, we do. I forgot. I should have remembered that. Ask Bowmar to take on a challenge, and she will certainly take it on above and beyond what you ask.
Thank you.
I remember that. So let's see who's still with us here. I know that Todd's probably still there. Oh, look, Amy Coons popped in.
Oh,
She
hi.
says hello. All right. Coons, if you're there, can you post and let us know if the otters have had their babies yet? That's something I wanted. I've not seen the otter webcam at the zoo. So please, I know it's like a 20-second delay, so we have to ask the question and then wait. So
okay.
If she does that. But no babies. Okay. Oh, well. Get that webcam up. I think that'll be something to false alarm. Oh, no. They weren't pregnant. All right. So I don't know. Did you know that she works at the zoo up in Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still
I think, you know how I found out is that it was that one, was it, I don't know, the Zoom call or whatever we all did,
yeah.
I don't know, a couple of months ago.
Yeah. We got to do another one too. Reminds me. I've got to get my schedule open for that so we can do one.
Yeah, I loved it. I had so much fun.
Yeah. All right. So there's somebody else walking behind you. Who's that?
That would be Alexa, one of the twins. They're like hovering over me.
Trying to, oh, hey, Alexa, you want to be on the show?
Hi.
You got red hair?
Yeah.
Why don't you like pop in and really say hi, Alexa?
What?
He said, pop in and really say hi.
Hi.
Hi. You decided on school yet?
What?
Have you decided on school yet?
No.
She's one of the ninth graders. So
Can't ever start too early, right?
I know. I thought you said University of Florida.
I'm not going to be able to get into that.
Oh, okay.
Everybody gets into Florida.
My dream's college.
It's her dream college, and she could have gotten into that,
I
but
could have, but I can't.
but she was involved in gymnastics and won 2 national championships. And
Scholarship somewhere.
and then decided her social life at school was more important.
Yeah, because it is.
Okay, that's a 15-year-old.
Not making
So yeah. So
Does the other kid want to be in too? Come on.
yeah, Matthew, get in. Say hi to my friend Marvin.
Matthew.
Matthew. Yes. Come say hi to. All right. So this is the other twin.
Hello, Matt. With your champion shirt on there.
Yeah.
I'm the real champion.
Oh, gosh. That's my daily life, Uncle Marv.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I know. I am.
Well, let me ask this. So do you have any Alexa electronics in the house?
Yes.
We
And you
did.
have to rename it?
We do.
keys.
We disconnected them all.
No,
Didn't
Lauren
just-
still has hers.
You didn't rename it?
All right. Oh, Lauren, I guess my oldest still has hers, but it caused a lot of issues.
Remember when it used to be in Matthew's room?
Yeah, so Matthew and Alexa had bedrooms right next to each other, and Matthew would get angry at his sister and start yelling at her, and the other Alexa would say, "I'm sorry, I cannot understand you. Why are you calling me that?"
Fun.
Yeah, it is. So it's all good though.
I'll have to pop in one time once COVID lets up here. I know
Yeah,
Palm
it
Beach
did.
isn't as bad as Broward down here. We're still
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it's been. And like I had said, I mean, unfortunately I've been personally affected by it way more than I've wanted to. So, but yeah, so
yeah. You said that you guys had to cancel the one event,
uh-huh.
but has that affected like the fundraising? Are you able to do a lot of it online, or did you have?
Yeah, we actually we were really lucky in that we had all of our financial goals. Um, what I found is once you got into August, September, October, even November and December, people wanted to give you money. I think because they felt so horrible that so much had changed and you couldn't do events and things like that. So, you know, unfortunately, there definitely were those organizations who suffered, but we, I don't want to say benefited because of COVID, but we didn't have any financial issues to a horrible extent because of COVID. So we were very lucky. I mean, we had two of our little kids come down with COVID, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been. I mean, these kids, some of them are just so sick. They get a cold, they end up in PICU. See, he's doing that with his hair too.
I think yours is way better.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
so we were very lucky.
one of my clients, not for profit, tied to the cruise industry, and
Uh,
I mean they're surviving, and they were in the midst of raising money for a new building.
oh gosh.
That got delayed, but hopefully things are picking up, and as soon as they can start cruising again, that'll help them tremendously.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, we had a family cruise planned for spring break.
Last year.
And what was it, the week or 2 weeks before we were supposed to go? Obviously, it was canceled, it was shut down.
It was literally
And we still haven't even gotten our money back. And at this point, I would rather go on a cruise than get my money back. Um, because ultimately, I know it will be fine.
Wait, so we'll still go on a cruise?
So, yeah.
Will that
So
still be okay, Alexa? Is a cruise still be cool to do with the family?
What?
will a cruise still be cool to do with the family?
Yeah, obviously.
Oh, where are you going? Let me ask that.
Mexico,
Oh,
Haiti, and where else, Mom?
I forget.
Aruba or something like that?
No, it wasn't Aruba. I forget where else. Yeah, we've done a lot of cruising. So
okay. So
Only one.
Mexico and Haiti are like two different areas. So
no, it was a 7-day cruise. So
7 days. All right.
yeah.
Oh,
And then I
sometimes-
think it was Royal Caribbean. So then we were going to their private. Oh, Jamaica was the
Oh
other
yeah,
place.
Jamaica.
So
Come on.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. I want to go again.
So,
I want to go.
yeah, so hopefully as soon as they can open up, I miss it.
Next year they'll open up. I was reading your emails.
Oh, okay. Great.
That's what I do when I get bored in school.
She has private access to my emails.
And her Amazon account.
Okay,
Yeah.
over the air.
What?
Probably shouldn't have said that over the air.
Oh, she knows. She's the one who gave me the password.
Yeah, I have protection though. So,
Well, I don't order anything, so.
yeah. So,
You know what?
it's yeah, it's fun living with these little ones who aren't so little anymore.
So how was last year? How much homeschooling had to happen?
Oh, the worst.
So they were home from
March?
March until June, and then they started
No,
school out.
we were from home till March till August.
Well, I know, but you weren't in school the whole time.
Well, obviously, but we're still.
But yeah, it was horrible. It was just horrible. I mean, and the kids wanted this, the minute that they could get back into physical school, they wanted to go. And for us, I mean, for every family, it's different and they have their reasons. But for us, being in physical school has been the best thing. I mean, I don't know about in Broward County, but I will say in Palm Beach County, they have done an exceptional job with the contact tracing. And, you know, if somebody at the school or in a classroom specifically is tested positive for COVID, they've done a great job about notifying the parents and all of that. My only issue was because I've become good friends with the principal because I have two ninth graders and they have some of the same teachers. So
No.
they're like, oh,
It doesn't.
I'm sorry.
It says like, oh, your student in ninth grade got exposed to this in this class, and she has to ask like what teacher it is.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, what teacher? So I know which child to talk to or whatever. So, but yeah.
It's interesting here too. So I have two nephews,
Uh-huh.
one in high school and then the little one, and they have to go through that all the time. And it's probably worse here in Broward, not as bad as Miami, because kids are being sent home just with the slightest ailment. So if there's, any fever,
So are we. If you have a headache at our school, they test you for COVID, like the rapid test, and you
right.
still have to go home and quarantine either way. You
Yeah.
can't come back to school without having a COVID test.
To you, how many positives in a row? 2 or 3?
No, it's just one.
Just one positive?
One
You're-
negative.
No. Yeah, one negative, they send you home, but don't you have to have a positive before you can go back?
No, you have to have
A negative before you can go back.
a negative before
Sorry,
you.
I'm sorry, the other way. Yeah, positive to go.
I will tell you, this is a funny story. At the beginning of the school year,
yeah.
my son decided he didn't want to be in school, and I was in meetings. So he told the nurse that he had these symptoms, and of course they are all COVID.
symptoms.
So my mother came and picked him up, and they basically told him that he couldn't go back to school until he had a negative COVID test. So I get a hold of him after my meeting, and I throw him in the car. And he's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I'm sorry, you have to go and have a COVID test. You cannot, they won't allow you to eat before you do it. And so we get in line, and we're squished in between all these cars. And I said, oh, Matthew, I just want you to know they shove this all the way up to your nose, almost to your brain. It's really painful. He's like, I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID. I'm okay. I'm okay. I said, well, it doesn't really matter because you have to have a negative test in order to go back to school. So you still have to do it. I did the rapid, but
Right.
he was never sick after that.
Or at least never lied about it.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, so it's yeah, and it's hard. I mean, because all these kids are social. I mean, you've got experiences with your nephews. I mean, I have about, I've had the same group of kids at my house since March. And we're really careful about who comes in and all of that, but to quarantine all these kids for that long, it's crazy.
So did you get a thermometer thing for the house? A little
Yeah, I had one.
gun?
We do?
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know,
Or we
it's all
just sit
good
outside
though.
usually when they come over
Yeah.
in the backyard
So,
or at the park.
yeah. So definitely when you come this way, let me know.
All right, I will do that. I've got so usually when I go up there, like I was up there last week, but it was just for an installation, and then I had to come back. So I'm headed up to, let's see, Port St. Lucie, Maitland this weekend.
Uh-huh.
Next weekend is Tampa and St. Pete.
Oh, wow.
Oh
You're
man,
all over the place.
yeah, that reminds me, I gotta get in touch with somebody. Supposed to get a trip planned and a podcast done over there. And then what's happening? Oh, then Kim is flying up to Ohio again,
Oh, wow.
going to see the mother.
Okay.
Get my calendar here. So just to let you, so let me show you my calendar. This is how bad it is.
Oh, no.
So that's my calendar.
Oh my gosh.
And I have to leave. I have to leave the weekends open for all my trips, and I have to put them in. So
Holy cow.
what is she saying?
Uncle Marv is busy.
Oh, work stuff though. What is she saying?
I don't know. I ignore her half the time.
Mom!
So let me guess. They weren't home while we were doing the show.
No, they were in their rooms.
Oh, okay.
So they were in their rooms.
And
So
they just knew when it was over to come out and play.
yeah, to irritate me.
This
So
this, this would have been interesting during the show.
yeah, I know. Believe me, I've been on Zoom calls and I've had all kinds of crazy things happening, including my dog jump up on me. So my entire household has been in pretty much every Zoom call I have.
That's
So,
right.
so are you the fun house? Are you the house that all the kids come over to and hang out with?
I am. I am. My food bill has we just moved. We were living in Royal Palm Beach. We moved here in June, and this is the fun house. I mean, like, where I feel like I have to apologize to other mothers because they're all like, we offer the kids to come to our house, but they all want to come to your house. And I mean, they just, it's a safe place. They know they can go in my pantry or refrigerator or whatever. And I just, there are certain things that obviously they know the rules, but yeah, so it's, and I'm okay with it. I love these kids being here.
Mm.
So they're all respectful for the most part, and they know that I'll shake them up if they're not. And there have been times I've yelled at every single one of them.
Not me.
Yeah, sure.
I don't get it.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. I do like that part. Um, so
Yeah, but you were like that at the dorm too. Didn't you always have gatherings in your room?
yeah, I did, but it's different when you're a mom. Parents aren't supposed to be cool, I guess. But
That's a big dog. I thought you said a
yeah,
little.
yeah, he's a black lab.
Oh.
So he's 90 pounds.
He's not 90 pounds. He's 87.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So
Oh, this
see what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
Mom, whenever you get knocked back up, or else I'll be dead.
Alexa, you're probably 90 pounds.
I'm not 90 pounds.
I'm actually a little bit surprised because normally she's pretty shy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is that kids just can't be quiet.
I'm 110 pounds.
Okay, well, okay.
All right.
Later, Coons. We'll see you.
Bye.
Definitely let us know when you're back down in Florida.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I should probably go ahead and let you go because I don't think they're going to stop in. So.
Okay, and I'll get you Janie's information.
Oh, no.
And I'll see if I have Rick's. If not, I know how to find it.
Mom,
Yes, Alexa.
my dog is humping me.
Okay, all right. Stop it.
Okay.
Go away.
Yes, it's time to go now.
Okay, goodbye.
later.
Thanks, Marvin.
Bye.
Okay, bye.